Hello, everybody! Hey, we're finally back in my room. We're actually doing a review a little bit early, but hey, we are going to get y'all Ralph Breaks here and that. I don't know what the hell is up with Pizza Hut. They decided that they were going to take an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours to deliver us a pizza. So we were going to see it, because today's Sunday, we were going to see it yesterday, just so that way we can have 2 reviews ready for y'all.
We decided to be lazy and ordered a pizza, and
I didn't realize it was going to take as long as it did, and I was like, okay, well, let's get a refund on those tickets.
I was like, maybe we should have gone out to eat like we originally planned.
Yeah. But hey, we do have a brand new review for y'all, at least right now, and that is Robin Hood. I guess the best way to put it is the one that's going to star, how do you say this guy's name?
Taron Egerton?
Yeah, he's from, those who do not know, he is the lead from the Kingsman movies. And those who also do know my own opinions about the Kingsman.
Let's see. It's dude.
That guy to be exact. And I happen to have my copy of Kingsman Secret Service.
I was like, I know he has one. I was like, here it is.
I actually have both of them. And, I don't know where the second one is, somewhere around here.
Yeah.
But those who do know, I actually like the second Kingsman a lot more than the first one. I thought the first one got a little too up its own ass at times. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of weird. It gets lost in its own style is the best way to put it. Not pretension, but really just its own style. It's like, okay, movie, I don't care. I thought the second one did a lot better, but my issue always was that he is not a very compelling lead. I wasn't sure how he was going to be here, especially considering he's supposed to be walking amongst the likes of Jamie Foxx, who, I'm just going to admit that he was sleepwalking through this movie. At least Jamie Foxx was.
He's still turning in decent performance.
And that's probably going to be the longest short, the greatest things you're going to say about Robin Hood, because Robin Hood is a delightful mess.
I'll say Sorrento from Ready Player One also turned in a decent performance as the sheriff.
Yeah. This is a movie that you're going to have okay performances, but honestly, this is a film that if you go into it with any expectations whatsoever, you're going to be wildly blown away from what they're going to do, because you're going to wonder what the fuck are they trying to do. The best way to describe this movie is it's a film that went, hey, you know all those like hip kind of, we're going to do medieval stuff but have modern stuff at the same time? It wants to do that. The best way we were kind of talking about was King Arthur and the one that Guy Ritchie recently did. I can't remember what. King Arthur,
Legend of the Sword.
Yeah, which we both actually really like.
Yeah, I think that's what this Robin Hood was going for. It just... No, just fell flat on its face. Just...
there's...
Yeah, it was a Batman origin story with some Fast and the Furious type carriage chases and
action sequences.
Yeah. And like, but set in the Middle Ages, and it's just...
But it doesn't have technology similar to that in the Middle Ages. It's like excessively progressive in terms of technology and shit that they never did. Fights that don't work the way how medieval...
Yeah, there's a scene at the beginning when they're fighting in the Third Crusades.
Mind you, that's the 1100s. The 1100s. Oh, no. We didn't even touch upon the dumbest thing that actually happens within like the first 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah, the dress.
I don't know if the writer of this knows how medieval, how feudalism and all that worked and how soldiers were recruited. Because they weren't actually really recruited. They were pretty much told, hey, you're fighting. It's
conscripted.
Yeah, it's pretty much conscription. But for lords such as Robin of Locksley, he would have been probably brought in by his father, or he would have done it in his father's stead.
Yeah.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, how the original story is, he did go in his father's stead.
Well, there's no mention of a father.
Well, obviously he has to have a father because he's a lord. But Yeah, instead of like, oh, I'm gonna go fight in the Crusades, to make a man of myself, he gets a literal fucking draft notice. And it says draft notice on
right
it.
across the top. I was like, that seems a little out of place there.
Yeah. And it's like, by the Sheriff of Nottingham. And it's like, the fuck?
It's like, you are hereby conscripted. And I was like,
It's like, you don't conscript lords. You can't. It's not how that works. They would be given a notice to, come along, but it's not actually like a draft notice. But that's the thing, they have him fighting like he's part of a drafted army. Megan was even going to talk about the beginning, the first real fight sequence.
Yeah, it felt like a modern day fight.
Think like Saving Private Ryan, Battle Los Angeles.
Yeah, taking place in the Middle East with like these tactics that they would use like today. And it's like, I kept wondering, it's like, well, why are they using bow and arrows? Why not use guns? And I had to remember,
machine guns
yeah, it's like, it's like, okay, yeah, it's the Middle Ages, it's Robin Hood, it's like, yeah, so all they have is bow and arrows as far as like, long range weapons. And yeah, the most ridiculous part of that scene that, like, yeah, it was kind of like taking me out of it, but the most ridiculous part of it that really took me out of it was the, what would you call it?
It was a fucking crossbow that he reloaded with this fucking clip like this, and it was sort of shooting it like a damn machine gun. It's like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, I turned over to Megan, and I think I had that look of going,
yeah, I was kind of looking at me like,
what the fuck's going on right now? Yeah, then there was like, they set up this like ambush at one point, and it's very much like you would think, like if you watched Hurt Locker and they're setting up ambushes in there or anything. They fire this not quite RPG level of crossbow, just big ass fucking crossbow the size of a dude that's sitting on this other dude. Fire just shoots pellets everywhere. That kills a few of them, and you almost expect to hear, like, they hear these whizzes of arrows. It's like, alright, most arrows made a noise at best because that was the sound of the feathers and all that going through.
Or what was the rocket launcher? Or missile launcher or whatever.
Yeah, and then there's like, we need to shoot a flare. This guy attaches them to a bow and arrow and shoots a flare up in the sky, and they know exactly where to shoot these not artillery trebuchets. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
I say, yeah, shoots a big freaking, big freaking arrow or something. It's like, it's like, that, not how that works. I'm not very, like, military literate like he is, but even I was like, that is not how that works. That is not how that particular piece of technology.
Ooh. It's like, you want to know what they did not have in the Third Crusade? I'm pretty certain, if I'm not mistaken, around that time they did have crossbows, but crossbows had to be loaded manually. In fact, even nowadays, automatic crossbows are not really a thing because you can't really knock the arrows correctly. And even then, crossbows weren't the preferred target to use in city quarter combat. That's the other weird thing that I even kind of mentioned to Megan. Nobody here uses a sword. Like, that's one thing Robin and Locksley knew how to do. He was not just an archer, he was a sword fighter.
He used a sword, like, once to try and save Jamie Foxx's son from getting beheaded, but they ended up beheading him anyway. It's like, well, shit.
Yeah, and even then, he only uses it to destroy a chain. The weakest chain in the world, just knocks it once, snaps right in half. Like, okay, well, that was...
Yeah, almost like the chain in Robin Hood Men in Tights. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, kick.
Alright, everybody, push. And that was the thing I kept thinking the whole time. Like, this...
Yeah, it came across like a parody. Like, some of the... Yeah, you mentioned some of the more modern stuff in this movie. It's like, yeah, like... Robin Hood Men in Tights, they had that kind of stuff.
But it was meant to be funny.
Yes, it was meant to be a parody. Like, this takes itself, like, way too seriously. And then pulled us out of the movie by including, like, these anachronistic, just things, just reference, like, oh.
There was the fact that Nottingham looked partially like fucking Isengard from Lord of the Rings. That was weird. It kept having like spouts of fire, and it's like,
Yeah, the mine area.
yeah. Then I wanted to go, hey, you do realize that back in those days they just used pickaxes, right? Dynamite hadn't been invented. It's not going to be invented for another 700 years. It's like, why?
Yeah, and the rest of Nottingham didn't really look like a city in England. It looked like a city in, like, the Middle East or Asia or something.
Technically, I think it's a city in Hungary. I think that's where they filmed this at. Hungary, Romania, somewhere like that. It was one of those places where you can film for cheap, and that's probably the reason why they chose this. But on top of everything, you do have all the characters, for lack of a better term. You have, of course, you have Robin Hood played by I can't pronounce his name.
Taron Egerton.
There we go. We'll call him T. Little John, for some reason, is played by Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
He's a Middle Eastern guy. Well, it's weird because that character was originally in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the Kevin Costner film, if you're wondering. And I don't know if that kind of character was in any other movie besides also like Robin Hood Men in Tights, the best Robin Hood interpretation, mind you.
I would say Robin Hood Men in Tights, like, there was a Little John, but there was also, like, his Muslim character, Achu.
Yeah. His father, a sneeze.
Yeah.
Which is the best damn joke ever. But no, and it was weird that you had, Little John being played by, Jamie Foxx. Not because of the fact that Jamie Foxx is like a bad character or anything, but it's like, alright, so you took one character from a movie, morphed it with the character from the story,
Yeah.
and you made this weird amalgamation of something.
It's like, yeah, it kind of worked. I mean, except he wasn't called Little John. He had this, like, Arabic name. It's like, well, in your language, it would be John.
Yeah, and it's like...
So I was like, okay, John. We'll just call you John.
I almost wanted to go, y'all
like,
do know Sean was a Hebrew name, right? Well, it's not pronounced John, but fuck it. This movie goes up to history and just beats the piss out of it with a baseball bat.
Yeah, and tries to pretend like, oh, this is how it actually happened.
Yeah, it says at the beginning, I was like, whoa, nope, you're already losing me, movie.
Already taking himself way too seriously. Whereas, like, King Arthur and Legend of the Sword,
it purposely tried to do a fantastical take of it, and that was fine. It understood. It's like,
yeah, I think it tried to be like a little true to history, but mostly just kind of include the more fantastical elements, like you said, in it, and just be fun and be a blokey bloke kind of King Arthur. Every man kind of
tale of it. It made him an everyman. It made him more of a blokey bloke, as we always call it.
And, like, just the fantastical elements just added to the fun of it. This had nothing as far as fantastical. It's like modern day issues in Middle Ages. Like,
There's...
like, suffering from PTSD, and he's at one point referred to as a veteran of the Crusades.
Yeah, it's like... no... It's not how they would have referred to him. And not only that, but like at one point they're like, well, he was said to be dead, and this was like 2 years afterwards, even though it took them 3 months to go back from the Middle East. It's like, what time is it?
I just kind of assumed that I was like, okay, I guess almost as soon as he left, Sheriff's like, okay, he's dead on season of shit.
Yeah. Sorrento in this, we're just going to call him that because he's not really a sheriff of Nottingham, because he is a massive chunk of ham is what he is. Like, there are times when he's supposed to be very cool, calm, and collected, and then he just starts screaming at the top of his lungs like, the fuck is he on? He's sitting there going like...
just very...
He expects him to be twirling the mustache, going, yes, yes,
Yeah, he's a little bit like villainy and hammy in Ready Player One, but he amps that up to 11.
You might as well oink in this movie. You might as well oink, 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 oink. I think I broke Megan.
Not quite.
Yeah, and I actually wouldn't have minded, the moronic, oh, it's an automatic crossbow, and everybody fucking uses crossbows. Like, or whenever he's fighting the guards and all that, one, there's just stormtroopers in all essence. They are faceless, just chunks of armor that for some odd reason the bow can just shoot right through it. Never mind the fact that if you would use a longbow, it should be able to puncture through armor. Not going to get into that because that's actually trying to give this movie some kind of goddamn credit. And that, but oh Jesus, this movie, I was so confused at times.
Oh.
If they had just went through and just made it more insane, I think, because it does feel like it almost holds itself back because it wants to still place it in the Robin Hood.
Yeah, it still wants to be historically accurate, and yet be kind of goofy and fun, like King Arthur and Legend of the Sword. Like okay, I get what you're going. I see what you're going for. But
I don't think you know how to do this movie.
Yeah, it's like you.
Well, the worst thing is there is a historically accurate Robin Hood film called Robin Hood. It was done by Ridley Scott back in 2010, I want to say. I actually didn't mind the movie all that much. It's not a fantastic
I remember the
movie.
one with
Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
That's Robin Hood. And the biggest issue is just that he's very, very little in it. And that's because originally the movie was meant to be a Sheriff of Nottingham movie. And it was supposed to point out, take place from the sheriff's perspective and less of him, trying to hunt down Robin Hood, but more that he's just doing his fucking job. Yeah. It's like, it's not one of those, like, he's sitting there trying to be this evil, twirly mustache.
That's another thing. Like, the taxes, like, a big to-do was made in a bunch of Robin Hood lore about, Sheriff Nottingham taxing the poor people to death.
Not Sheriff of Nottingham, it was actually Prince John.
Well, Prince John and...
Who's not in this movie at all. He just doesn't...
No, so we have some kind of cardinal played by F. Murray Abraham.
Yeah, it's like, the fuck you dig him up out of?
I was like...
Big old pile of coke he just pulled out of... So, here, put this on your cardinal. Yes, I'm cardinal. Ha ha. He's just like Sorrento in this... Well, that guy...
Well, I mean, like...
He's fucking over the top and evil. And it's...
Did you see him as the devil in Little Nicky?
Uh-huh.
I was like, pretty much playing that, except he's like a man of the claws, like...
It's just...
weird.
It doesn't make any damn sense.
Yeah, I was like, because... Yeah, what I was saying about the taxes... Yeah, the Sheriff of Nottingham and this cardinal are, like, taxing the hell out of people, supposedly to fund this crusade.
In reality, they're funding this Arabic general to help them...
overthrow the king.
Never mind the fact that the cardinal's Italian. And also, if I'm not mistaken, at this point, the church or the English were already starting to separate from Catholicism. It was one of their big issues, and in fact, that's the reason why Richard Lionheart, he really just went just because he wanted to, not because the crown told him to.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, not only that, but at that point... Alright, I'm gonna just bore y'all with history for a second. At this fucking point...
Let me get your soapbox. Okay.
Well, at this fucking point, they made a big deal. It's like, oh, he's an Italian cardinal. The Holy Roman Empire, which was refounded at that time, was German. It was a Dutch-controlled empire. It wouldn't be Italian. He would have probably been German. Because the Holy Roman Empire, which called itself that simply because they didn't want the Dutch, or more importantly, they didn't want Charlemagne to burn down the fucking entirety of the Vatican City.
You know something that just occurred to me?
Yo.
Yeah, part of their plan is to overthrow the king. But it's not only playing up for, like, power.
Yeah, it's just...
Power, money, control. It's like, oh, okay, why, though?
Yeah, not only that, but if you're paying this Arabic dude, he's just going to kill y'all. Why would he keep you lackeys around? It's a nonsensical addition of a plot, and it's like, alright, movie, you don't need to have a plot. You already are dumb enough. You don't need to sit here and prove it more.
Yeah, it'd been one thing if they were like taxing people and saying it's like, okay, we need it for the war, and just pretty much keeping the money for themselves.
Made sense at that
Because
point.
like that, like okay, they're motivated by greed. You know,
It's simple, but fuck it. It's what the actual story's kind of based on. At least you're having some connection to the story beyond character names.
yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what?
yeah. We also get Farrah Tuck, Mae Marion, and Will Scarlet, played by Christian Grey himself. God,
Holy shit, was he just a lovable ball of ham. Like, I was like, oh, you poor son of a bitch. You still don't know how to act.
I'm glad you found him lovable.
No, it's because every time he was talking, I know Dorian does have an actual English
Jamie
accent.
Dornan.
Yeah. I know he has an English accent. He sounds exactly like the dude from Robin Hood Men in Tights that played Will Scarlet. Will Scarlet O'Hara. We from Georgia. That's all I thought every time he was talking. I was like, he's from Georgia.
Yeah,
His fucking accent was so bizarre. I was like, God, I can't stand it.
it almost sounded like kind of an Irish accent. I wonder, like, okay, I guess, is he supposed to be from Ireland, or is he actually...
Hang on, man, it's my phone right there. Well, see, that's the funny thing. The lady who played Maid Marian, who cannot do an English accent, strange enough, she is actually Irish. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, oh, God, this is so bizarre. What I think would have helped...
Yeah, he was actually born in Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Yeah,
So he actually is Irish, okay.
Well, Irish by,
Ugh.
requirements.
Ugh.
English would like say, no, he's an Englishman.
Fuck you, Jamie Dornan. He's only 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
We're in 82. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that... I think that makes me feel old. Like...
Hey, he may have 4 movies to his name, technically. He has not done good in any of them.
But still, he looks much older than being 4 years older than me.
Well, that's a good thing. It makes you feel real young, then.
No, in fact, there's only 4 year difference. Like, oh my god. Really?
It's
I know I
okay,
don't
babe.
look it. That helps. That, oh.
Well, yeah, his accent was hilarious.
And this route that he took with him, just like...
It's completely Batman. He's
Two-Face.
Yeah, he's Two-Face in all instances. He gets
It's like-
burned at one point, and
It's like...
eventually he takes up the Sheriff of Nottingham, and he's just over the top evil. If we're spoiling the movie for you, that's all I gotta say.
And rather than killing him, he, like...
I just can't shoot that.
shoot an arrow at this, like, wanted poster he's hanging out, like, holding up, and, like, so it's, like, lands on the wall behind him, or someone's like, okay, what? It's
No,
like,
why'd you kill a cardinal that y'all know is evil? Yeah.
yeah, like, you already killed, the other sheriff of Nottingham, why didn't you kill this one?
See, what would have made this better if they were just going to go for this over-the-top weirdness and everything? I thought of 2 things they could do. They could have done it as, one, set this no longer in the Crusade times. Set it in a post-apocalyptic Earth, where there is no real technology anymore. And, this, pretty much we're rehashing it all, but people have lost, these tales as old as time and everything.
Yeah.
You're allowed to then have these anachronistic, things that don't really work for that time period. And you could just have them talking about, it's like, there was a time before whenever, technology used to reign and blah, 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 but now we only use this, and now we fight over gods and men and blah, blah, blah. Whatever bullshit you want to say. Like, that, in fact, I thought that was what they were kind of going for. At first, when I saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, maybe it's a post-apocalyptic Robin Hood. It's not the smartest idea in the world, but it's at least an interesting idea. Then I was saying, okay, how about we do it like 300? Obviously, 300 is more legendary than it is now of history. Like, barely anybody actually talks about the Battle of Thermopylae. They actually just simply talk about Leonidas and his 300 soldiers. Never mind the other 700 bastards who were with him. But they don't talk about the fact that And I'm talking about 300 as its, legendary stats, especially in the terms of the film. Have these, like, creatures, or have, especially if you want to have the Arabs, stuff like that, have them be monstrous in all essence. Or have your villains be really monsters. It's not going to make a lick of fucking sense. This didn't make a lick of fucking sense anyway. And trying to set itself still in the time frame, but like I said, taking just a baseball bat and beating the ever living shit out of the actual time stream, it takes you out of the fucking movie the whole time, and that's where its big problems are.
Yeah, the big issue is that it tries to take itself so seriously, and then has these moments where it's like really dumb and ridiculous and like just bordering on anachronistic, and it's like, what? Yeah, it does take you out of the movie.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, were you enjoying us in any form?
Yeah, I kept looking, I was like, this movie's ridiculous.
I looked over at Megan, I think it was like 50 minutes in, I think I just realized this movie's really dumb.
I'm like, this movie is ridiculous. And he's like, no, not ridiculous, it's dumb.
Yeah, this movie's just dumb. This is the best way to describe it. It seems too simple of a phrase, but to be fair, this movie's just dumb. It doesn't understand really what it wants to do. It doesn't understand the source material it's coming from. And on top of everything, It just doesn't feel like it matters by the end of it all. And it sets itself up for a sequel that will not come. This movie is a massive fucking bomb. And it's sad because there is some moments where, like I said, if they'd went just a little bit one way or the other, I wouldn't have hated this as much. I already described two different things they could have done. Like, they could have done more 300-ish, in fact, making more monstrous inventions, more monstrous creatures. So it's like, okay, this may say it takes place in this time period. It's almost a legendary tale of it. Alright, cool, that's fine. Same with King Arthur. Because obviously, we know that Uther did not fight a bunch of fucking massive fucking elephants. I didn't think I could fit fucking anymore in that sense if I fucking tried. But, or if it, like I said, a post-apocalyptic Robin Hood, pretty much a retelling in a fashion, but still taking characters, moving them where they need to fit your plot. This movie's still going to have problems in the fact that its pacing's all over the place. It really wants to try and have some good action sequences. The biggest problem is a lot of it's, one, dark. Two, it's cut way too sharp at times. You're like, all right, no. Let it breathe up. Like, you don't want to... fuck you.
Sometimes, like, zoomed in too close. Like, okay, I can't fucking tell what's happening. The big fight scene at the end goes on for way too long. It's like, I actually dozed off. It's like, okay, how did he get over here? Okay, whatever.
Well, to be fair, that's because, something gagged.
I was tired. I got no sleep and I'm still tired. It's like,
There's a good reason for that, babe.
Which we will not get into until we know for sure.
Yeah.
Ixnay.
Ixnay. Aeon Uzihe. I don't pick Latin good. I don't English good. I was like, you're lucky if I even know how to speak.
Ixnay on the Oopus Day.
But yeah, I will say, I'm fascinated by this film, but more fascinated in the form of, like, I'm fascinated with Battlefield Earth. It's not because it's good.
Because it's a train wreck, and he loves train wrecks.
I gotta sit there and almost let him go. I don't know how you accomplished, fucking up something as simple as Robin Hood, but bravo, my good sirs. Bravo. You went up to that story, took a poo on it, and then shot it in the face.
Yeah, again, we knew, like, we figured out where they were trying to go with it, but you failed. You failed mightily, good sirs.
Yeah. It has a wee bit of problems here or there. Mm-hmm. But...
Well, no, they were trying to imitate Guy Ritchie's style.
Yeah, they very much were.
And they didn't get Guy Ritchie involved in this at all. Producing, directing, writing, nothing. It's like, if you had his creative input at some point in the process, then maybe you could have stood a chance. But, trying to...
Hell, get Matthew Vaughn involved. Matthew Vaughn, the guy who did Kingsman. He knows how to fucking do good action sequences.
I would not have never seen him in the Kingsman movies.
You've seen X-Men First Class. He did that. Probably the best X-Men movie. Logan is not included in that, so don't worry. I'm not sitting there pissing on Logan.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the saddest moments in Marvel movies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's alright. It's a whole other conversation. We're going to talk about that than fucking Robin Hood. Is there more you want to say about this piece of shit?
No, not really.
Yeah, it's a turd. It's a bad turd. If you are absolutely interested in seeing train wrecks like I am, maybe go see it. But even then, I might say you could wait on it. Because it is nearly 2 hours long, and there are some parts where it really does fucking drag, and you're just like, I want something to happen. Can we get back to the batshit crazy stuff? It probably does.
Yeah, like the whole thing. I love romance, but the whole thing between Robin and Maid Marian is like boring.
I still don't understand what was happening. Like, I think that Maid Marian was a horse thief, but she said she was an assassin, and then...
Well, I think, she's supposed to be a thief. Like, she starts off, trying to steal a horse from him. And he's like, okay, well, you can have it, and, only if you tell me your name.
And then he pretty much just, sexually harasses her the whole time. He's like, whoa, okay, sir. That's where you are. Oh, probably got butt sex from her. That's a running joke for Kingsman. So, what would you give this, though, as a final score?
I was originally thinking about being generous and giving it a 6. I don't know. I'll be just a little less generous and give it a 4.
I guess I'm being the asshole. I'm saying it's a 3. It's not a movie...
How am I giving it a higher score and you enjoyed it more than me?
I enjoy it because it's bad. That's the thing. I don't enjoy it because it's a good movie. That's the thing.
I can enjoy movies that are so bad, they're like, oh my god.
But see, I can't then, because I have to still let my score be based on its actual real qualities, not on how much I enjoyed it. Because there are some pieces of shit like Batman Robin, I love the shit out of them, but I admit they're a steaming pile of dog mess. Or
I
Alien
enjoy Batman
Resurrection.
Robin's, for all the cheesy puns and one-liners,
But I couldn't give that it's a 7 or anything. No. It's a fucking 1 of a movie. This is a 3, mind you, because.
Well, I'm just saying that I enjoy Batman and Robin. I enjoy bad movies. So bad it's good kind of things. But I didn't really enjoy this movie. It had potential. I think that's more what I'm basing my score on. It's okay, I saw little pieces of potential here and there, but it just.
Potential to be good or potential to be more batshit insane?
Yes. I mean, King Arthur, Legend of the Sword was kind of batshit insane.
But it was still good.
That's what I'm saying. It was fun. It was good.
But that's the thing with this. This didn't have good elements. But I still like its insanity. I just almost wish it would go more. And that's where it has its issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're interested in seeing train wrecks, go check this out. If you have no desire to see a train wreck of a movie, do not watch this. You're going to really be unhappy with yourself.
Basically, this is not a good movie, is what we're saying.
Yeah, it's not good. There's a good possibility.
I think I'm going to change my score to a 2. I got to come in under
Megan's wishy-washy as shit.
Like I said, I was grading it on potential, but...
I don't grade on potential. I grade on the actual product.
Well, it's kind of... Well, I'm not saying that I'm grading on potential. That's what I said. That's how I worded it. But it just mean that...
I don't know what she's talking about anymore. I love her, but I don't know what she's saying anymore.
Okay, yeah, I said that I'm grading on potential. That's not really what I meant. I more just meant that I'm... It's kind of coloring my judgments. Okay, I saw the potentials. There are parts I even kind of enjoyed, but there are a lot of moments I'm just like, it's really ridiculous. This movie is like, what?
Well, as I would say about this movie, I think the biggest flaw and what makes this easily as bad as it is, there were a lot less times I was laughing with it, and a lot more times I was laughing at it. It felt like picking on the kid who's riding a short bus at school. Please don't spew on me. It'd be horrible. Yeah. That's the thing. It was... I almost felt bad laughing. And it's like, oh, this movie doesn't know how to not eat its own crowns. Sorry. But yeah, so fuck Robin.
Yeah, this is not good. I would say avoid it like the plague.
Unless you're like me, you're a glutton for punishment. You like some shit films.
I wouldn't even say this is an enjoyable train wreck.
It's really close to being an
it's just like,
chair.
ooh, there are body parts and things I don't even want to know what they are, just spewed all over the place. Oh, that movie.
No, my love, that's mile 22. Mile 22 is one I was like, oh god, what is that? Why am I looking at? I think I broke her. Oh, but hey, we'll be back here in like 3 hours or so. Yeah, we're about to go see it here in like 30, 40 minutes. We'll be back with some Wreck-It Ralph. Please, I have no hope for this movie, but please just be decent. I have not had a good movie in so fucking long. Last one was Bad Times at El Royale, and even then it was alright. This was something good. Please, something fucking good. Charlie needs something before he gets the Mortal Engines and Spider-Man. Aww. So, pray for me, y'all. See y'all later, though. So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.